we've been talking on this show, and I know that you're up to speed too, about the new immigration raids that we've been seeing over the months. There's a Peoria woman, and she is a sushi shop owner, and she's got two great businesses. She came here illegally 21 years ago, and she's run two great businesses. She hasn't had any problem with the law. She came in from China. She was pregnant. Back then, the Chinese would force you to get an abortion.
They had a one-child policy.
If you were having a girl. And Kelly Yu was having a girl. She was 18 and having a little girl. She escaped. And her daughter was born here in the United States. Over the last few years, Kelly has married an American citizen. So she's married to an American citizen. She's got an American citizen who's a daughter, and she's got two businesses. And she went to ICE headquarters for a what is usually just kind of a check-in, which is what she's supposed to do. And they removed her from ICE headquarters in cuffs, and she was sent to the detention center in Eloy. And so someone who went out there to speak to her today is going to join us right now. He's Representative Greg Stanton, joins us here on KTAR. Representative, how are you today?
Well, I'm doing all right. Good afternoon.
So you went out to see Kelly Yu, and it didn't go the way you planned, correct?
Well, it didn't go the way I planned, although it did go the way I expected, because members of Congress around the country have tried to pay similar visits that I did. Kelly's husband asked me to go visit her and check in and see how she was doing. And it's my obligation as a member of the United States Congress to be able to tour federal facilities and make sure they're being run okay. And so that includes detention centers. And under federal law, a member of Congress can go and provide oversight over a detention center, and we do not have to provide advance notice. That's why it's called an oversight visit. But unfortunately, the ICE detention facility did not allow me to enter. They did not follow federal law. They have their own separate policy saying we need advance notice, but their separate policy does not overcome federal law. And so we'll be taking further action. But unfortunately, as of today, I was denied the opportunity to go inside the facility and visit Kelly.
At this point, Congressman Stanton, what do you expect to happen? Because this is happening over and over, and I don't see the administration changing their methods and saying, okay, we're going to allow you in.
Yeah, we're going to have to go to court and have a court make the determination that ICE is violating federal law by not allowing myself and other members of Congress to do our duty. We represent the people of Arizona. And I was asked by a citizen of Arizona to go check in on his wife at a detention facility. And that's what we were trying to do. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, there's everything right with that. That's part of my obligation, and it's what the citizens of this community expect. And so by denying that, they violated the law. And so we will be following up with likely legal action.
And if you're just joining us, in the past, Bruce and I have been talking about this Peoria woman who does not have legal status in the United States. She is in custody, and she is going to get deported. She's got two businesses in Peoria, I think one in Peoria, one in Glendale, married to an American man, has a 21-year-old daughter who's an American. And our guest right now is Representative Greg Stanton, who tried to visit her in the Eloy Detention Center and was denied entry. So what do you think the real reason is you were denied entry?
Well, the real reason is that ICE wants to make sure before any member of Congress goes to the facility that everything's up and running and in good working order, looks good, et cetera. But that's not the point of oversight. We should be able to do it at a moment's notice. And we are, we're the representatives of the people of the United States of America. And I want to say something else with Kelly, because you described her so beautifully in terms of an inspiring story of an immigrant that has built an amazingly successful business career. They have over 24 people working for those sushi restaurants. They're incredibly popular sushi restaurants. And you know what she does? She donates a ton of money to local baseball teams or football teams or other community organizations.
The police?
They donate money to the Peoria Police Department and Fire Department to serve those families. I mean, it's just they're amazing, great community members. And this is why we need real immigration reform. This is not good for the United States that a person like Kelly would be the subject matter of deportation. Americans want people that have criminal records in terms of violent crimes deported. Who can disagree? We all agree on that. But when you start deporting our neighbors, our friends who have not done anything other than criminal, have not done other criminal activities here, who have been here for a long period of time, we should do comprehensive immigration reform, allow those people a legitimate path to citizenship, not deport them. That makes no sense from an American perspective.
Do you think there's any way she can stay in the U.S., or is it just going to be a fact that she has to leave and she's going to get deported? Is the window open
she's going through the legal process. She's going through the legal process. She has really good legal counsel. But at the end of the day, a decision like this is a subjective decision. In times past, administrations have made the decision that they're going to go after people who have committed violent crimes for deportations and choose not to go after people like Kelly. And so there is still a subjective choice here. And of course, there is a possibility that they could change course and say that a person like Kelly, a job creator in this community who has not committed other crimes, has family, is married to an American, is raising a 21-year-old daughter here in America, she's the exact type of person that we want to stay in our country. So I don't want to have, false hope, but there is at least a modicum of hope that the right decision could be made here.
Congressman Stanton, you are a Democrat, but Republicans are in control of everything. The Supreme Court, the House, the Senate, they have the White House. Why don't we still have immigration reform? We were here once before.
I'm going to challenge the premise of that question, because you said Republicans are in charge of the House and Senate. And I might argue what I have seen, sadly, since January is Trump is in charge of the House of Representatives. And I wish my fellow members of Congress on the Republican side would stand up for themselves and fight to maintain the power of Congress. Just by way of example, all these tariffs that you hear about, they're all illegal. Trump has to do it because he's done a fake national emergency under which he's issuing tariffs. Tariffs should be done by members of Congress, but because these are my Republican colleagues won't stand up for themselves, they could easily vote to overcome the national emergency so that they themselves could vote on it. So I'm actually arguing that, unfortunately, it seems like Trump is running the House of Representatives, not the members of the House of Representatives.
Yeah, but Congressman, there have been presidents who are Democrats, and they didn't get this thing done either. So it's on both sides that everybody's dropped the ball.
I apologize. I was talking about some other issues. You are correct. When it comes to comprehensive immigration reform, that should have been done so long ago. By the way, the closest we got is when Senator McCain was in the Senate in the 2013-14 time period, right. And he got over 2/3 of the Senate, Democrats and Republicans, to vote for comprehensive immigration reform. And unfortunately and tragically, it couldn't even get a vote in the House of Representatives. And we've been living with the consequences ever since. So I apologize. You are correct that it has unfortunately been both under Democrat and Republican administrations that we have not been able to get a bipartisan deal on immigration reform.
We had Senator Gallego on the other day, and we were talking about the Kelly Yu story, the owner of Kawaii Sushi in north of Peoria. You tried to visit her today. You were denied at the Eloy detention center. What Gallego said was, well, maybe people like this who have businesses, who have roots here now, in the deep roots now in their community, yes, they came in the wrong way, but maybe we can have them pay a certain fine. We don't have to give them citizenship. We give them some sort of a status that will protect them here in the United States. We don't have to just go amnesty or hand them out citizenship. Do you support that idea from Senator Gallego? Maybe it's a fine for some of the people who have deep roots in their community, been here a while, haven't broken the law.
Yeah, of course. So Senator Gallego is on to something there. I would certainly agree with that. That if no one's suggesting that even someone who's been as actively involved in the community as Kelly should go to the front of the line and not have to pay a price for it. They should go to the back of the line, but at least be in the line so that they can still have their lives and their livelihoods here in the United States of America. We do have to be careful, though, because we don't ever want to be in a situation where permanently someone is living next to you, let's say Kelly or anyone else who is a business owner who happens to not be in the country, being an undocumented individual in this country, that they are paying taxes, they're sending their kids to schools, they're going to church with you, but that over the long haul, you can vote and they can't vote. I think that's an unhealthy situation for a society. So it doesn't mean you have to give automatic citizenship. They should go to the back of the line. But I think someone like Kelly should have an opportunity to eventually get citizenship here in the United States.
Well, I mean, don't we have permanent residency right now under federal law? So somebody can be a permanent resident. To me, it seems that's a function that somebody like her who's been here 21 years. I mean, immigrants are the ones more likely to be millionaires. They're more likely than Americans to start businesses and make money and become millionaires. They've done study after study about this. And
most of the Fortune 500 companies have CEOs that may not have been born in the United States of America. Sure, immigration has been a great thing for the United States of America throughout our history, of course.
Hey, Congressman, thanks for joining us. I would have really liked to have talked to you if you had gotten in there, because I think you should have gotten in. I was really wondering how Kelly was doing. I don't really have an update on if she's well or not. Certainly, I've talked to her husband Aldo and her daughter Zita. They've both been on the show. I don't want to see everybody stay, but I certainly want to see this woman stay.
Aldo's a good man, and he's a strong man trying to keep that restaurant going and trying to support his stepdaughter, and our hearts go out to him because he's going through a tough time. So Aldo, stay strong.
Thank you, Congressman. Appreciate it.
All right. Take it easy.
All right. Representative Greg Stanton. Yeah, it's like, Gail, again, I've been really clear on who I think should stay and who I think should not stay. I think if you came in under the Biden years, you should be out. We let everybody in. He let everybody in. If you're a criminal, it goes without saying. But a woman like Kelly should absolutely stay. 100%. I am not for dragging somebody off of a lawn like they did in California to this man who was, doing, someone else's yard work. I think it's ridiculous. I think if you go to Home Depot and you pick up one of those guys and you want to throw him in jail, I think that's stupid. I think we get rid of the criminals. And I think we try and do something for people like Kelly, who have been here for 21 years. You don't have to give her citizenship. But something. I don't
some
think she
kind of legal
be,
status.
She should not be in this detention center. I think she's an Arizonan.
It breaks my heart.
And I get it that she came in the wrong way. I understand it. But is there anything that we can do? Are we just going to, you came in illegally? You got to go. I'm not there. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
It just breaks my heart to see families broken apart like that by people who've been here for so long, the ones that do give to their community, and then this happens. Yeah. It's like, the thing is you say she came in wrong, but she's trying to make it right. This woman has tried to make it right. She goes for her check-in. She's tried to get legal status. She applied for asylum because let us not forget that we were... in this country, I grew up in an era where we did not like China because of their one-child policy, all those forced abortions.
Right. Well, put it this way.
And this woman wanted to escape that. And we're not going to embrace that?
I spoke to her daughter, who's 21. She would not be alive if Kelly stayed in China.
Exactly.
She would never existed.
Thanks for watching Outspoken with Bruce and Gatos. Tap to watch more from KTAR News and click the button in the middle to subscribe.